Let me begin with a question you probably haven't asked yourself lately. What if the biggest reason you're overwhelmed is not because you have, too much to do? It's because you are unclear on what actually matters. Every day, you're making dozens, maybe hundreds of micro decisions, what to say yes to, what to prioritize, what to drop. And the truth is, your success doesn't depend on how much you get done. It depends on how clear you are. Because when you're unclear, two things happen. Like one, you say yes to things that dilute your energy, most likely. And two, you say no to things that could actually change everything, the needle movers. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. You can be high achieving and still directionless. You can be productive and still out of alignment. You can be winning on paper and still drifting on purpose. Clarity is what closes that gap. So today, I want to give you a code, a mental operating system, if you will, to help you, stop spinning, stop scattering, and start building a life, a business, or a service, the work that you do, and a legacy that feels kind of intentional, and aligned with your purpose. So let's go. So this session will teach you how to gain clarity at every level: mental, strategic, emotional. So you can focus on what matters most, make high leverage decisions, and eliminate hidden distractions that drain your energy, your time, and attention. So you can walk away, like if you are participating in this session, you would walk away with a 4-part clarity code that I have created to prioritize your life and leadership, and some tools that I want to share with you on how to say no with conviction and yes with alignment, how to do that. And three, kind of a decision making filter to evaluate your goals, opportunities, and distractions. Okay. So now we live in a world that rewards urgency, not importance. Correct? Most high performers are busy but unclear. They drown in decisions, goals, and let's say obligations that feel, sometimes it feels productive, but they're not aligned, like many times. So clarity is the most underdeveloped superpower in leadership. You know, so let me say it again. Clarity is the most underdeveloped or underused superpower in leadership. Without it, even smart people, really, really smart people, they tend to drift away. So according to McKinsey, 80%, they study by McKinsey, 80% of executives say their organization strategy is not clearly understood by their teams. You know, and if your strategy isn't clear, neither is your calendar, right? The high achievers paradox, we call it. You know, so um, it used to happen to me all the time, and I have gone through this as well. And I have seen many of our authors. They say they're super busy until they decide to become an author. Many people that I have spoken to, aspiring authors or people who are in leadership roles, when I ask them this question, like, have you considered writing a book? The most common answer is, I'm busy. I don't have time. They're all high achievers. The moment you realize that, you're spending enormous time and energy on things that didn't move the needle, keeping you busy, but not moving the needle. Like publishing a book is a needle mover for everyone, right? But the turning point is discovering the power of subtraction, focus, and internal clarity, some of which we are going to explore today. And, you know, before we go to the next step, I wanted to share with you like what happened with me early on in my career. Like I was succeeding in ways that looked great from outside, but on the inside, I was feeling that I was off course. I was a high achiever. I was very busy, but something was not clear until I focused on clarity first. That's how it all started for me and many high achievers, I guess. So clarity is not some kind of feeling, you know, that you have, that you don't feel that you are clear. You have clarity. I mean, it's a filter. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters more. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. And clarity also precedes momentum. You don't need a better plan most of the time. You need to know what to start, and what to stay focused on. That's all you need. The world doesn't need you to be more productive. It needs you to be more precise in some way. All right. So clarity isn't just a one-time decision. It's kind of a practice. You do this every day. So now I want you to imagine waking up with a clear sense of what truly matters today. You know, if you can start your day like this, you will notice a clear improvement in your day's activities. And knowing exactly what to ignore at the same time without guilt or second guessing is also important. So you can make up a list of all things you want to, you are sure that matters, and also list of things that you actually want to ignore or delegate without feeling guilty about it. All right. And being able to say no with calm confidence, or say yes only to what moves you forward, will, that's, imagine that if you can do that. Now, that's what happens when clarity leads, and where the energy automatically flows. Okay. So now let's see how to think through this. This is a big idea. How to think through this? It is, first of all, it's about shifting of mindset from the situation. How do I get everything done? That is a high productive mindset. How do I get things done? And shift that to what is truly worth doing at all. That is a mindset shift, um, friends. So instead of thinking, how do I get everything done? Shifting to thinking, what is truly worth doing at all. In fact, this one mindset shift has helped so many people, really great leaders with a lot of stories to tell. This one shift has helped them write and publish their own books, but because they understood that, yeah, telling my story is worth the effort, sharing my insights is worth the effort, sharing my um, you know my mission with people is worth the effort, instead of getting all other things done. This is priority. So we don't suffer from a lack of effort. We suffer from an overcommitment to the wrong things, unfortunately. And clarity is how we escape complexity without sacrificing growth. Let's explore the four-part clarity code. I'm going to give you the 4 steps or the 4 parts of the clarity code, which I teach people during our seminars. And usually, the top leadership, they want to get very, very clear before they attempt to write or publish their own books with us. That's what we do at Stardom Books. So, this is how we start. Number one, or step number one, is identity clarity. Like, who am I becoming? Very important. Because here's the insight I want to share with you. Without internal clarity, external strategy always feel scattered. Let me say it again. Without internal clarity, external strategy or plan will always feel, scattered. So here are 3 key questions you need to ask yourself. Number one, what are the values I live and lead by? What are the values I live and lead by? So that way, when you answer these questions, the idea is to gain more clarity on what you do, whatever you're doing right now. All right. And the second biggest question, or the key question you need to ask yourself right now is, I mean, if you want to answer those questions in line on as when we progress, if you are recording if you are watching the recording, just pause the video and answer these questions and then continue, because you don't have to come back later to answer these questions again. And if you are not writing them down, you should start writing. The first question: what are the values I live and lead by? What are your values that you want to live by? like if you want to say, I am a person of integrity, I am a person of honesty, I get things done, and your value systems and belief systems, write them all down. And the second question, key question you need to know or answer is, what kind of a leader, if you are a leader or a person, do I want to be known as short term, like in the medium term, 3 to 5 years from now? Because you can, when you know this or have this clarity, like who am I becoming, then your path to becoming that person becomes clear, becomes easier. When you know where you are going, you can almost always reach when you can see where you are going, right? And the third question that you need to answer is, where am I trying to prove instead of align? If you're just trying to align yourself, or are you trying to prove your point? You know, alignment is more important for you to becoming who you are trying to become. So here's what we do at Stardom Books. I ask leaders at this stage to write, or fill in the blank or sentence completion activity. It's called clarity identity statement. So it's time you write your clarity identity statement, which goes like this. You start the sentence with these words like, I am someone who leads or creates or operates. These are different options. I am someone who leads, creates, operates by plan. That is where you fail. That is one statement that creates your truest, honest identities, right? I am someone who leads by blank. That's what you need to fill in. I don't want to put any words or give examples. Uh, and put words into your mouth. I want you to honestly, genuinely think about this question and fill in whatever comes to your mind. That's step one. Identity clarity. Gaining clarity about your own identity. Step two is priority clarity. Like what truly moves the needle for you? What are these things that are important for you? What to doing? What to waiting? Those are the things. Clarity isn't about doing more things, friends. It's not at all doing all the 100. It's not checklist based. You don't get clarity with a checklist. It's about doing the right things. It's not doing more things. It's about doing the right things. So let me give you a quick tool here, what we call as a 3-box filter. Imagine there are 3 boxes that you can put stuff into. Let's say the first box, name it as your musts box. Must, M-U-S-T, yes, must. So this, in this box goes all your high impact work only you can do. I mean, if you want to write a book, only you can do. If you want to do a video, only you can do. If you want to teach something someone, that's something that you can do. Only you can do. You cannot delegate it, right? So put all your musts into the must box. The second box is called the multipliers box. Imagine, I mean, you can literally make 3 boxes, or you can make 3 folders, or in the least case, you can just take a sheet of paper and draw 2 parallel lines on the sheet of paper. So you have 3 columns. Mark the first column as musts, the second column as multipliers, and under this, under the multipliers column, put all the things that elevate your visibility, your influence, or your outcomes of the results. All the activities or things or strategies that elevate your visibility, influence, or outcomes goes into this multipliers box. The third box is the maintenance box, where you can put all your admin tasks, routine tasks, or some urgent noise, what we call. Like there are certain things that you have to do whether you like or not. Put all those things into that box, and then you need to do one thing. I mean, as an exercise, at least I would encourage you to do, if you are doing this session live together, I would definitely ask you to pause here, draw these three boxes, and put at least three items in each box. Three musts, three multipliers, and three things into your maintenance box, and then stop all the three things from your maintenance box, from doing. Either delete it, delegate it, do whatever you want, but stop doing those three things in the maintenance box. All right. Uh, Step three is now the boundary clarity. I mean, what deserves a no, or, kind of, every yes or a no to something else usually, you know, um, is it's there are something more important happening. That's why you're saying a yes and no to something else. Excuse. So let me tell you about the no by design framework. It's called no by design. How do you don't just arbitrarily say no to things without figuring out what exactly it is. So here are three things that I personally do before I say no to anything. First is pre-decide on what you don't want to do this squat. So I make a list of all the things I don't want to do in this squat. Let's say um, I don't want to do a book tour this quarter, or I don't want to do this course this quarter, or I don't want to go to this conference this quarter. That I always wanted to, but I don't want to do this in this quarter. And then also create a not now list. That is, by design you're creating your no by design framework. First step, pre-design what you don't want to do this quarter. Second step, create a not now list. Maybe you want to do something, but not now. It's not priority, because we are thinking about boundary clarity. And then the next step, step number three, is set rules around meetings, or and maybe access, like what do you want to access, and email, responding, reading and responding to emails. There must be rules around that. And also about energy leaks. Where are you leaking energy? Like, where are you having trouble with managing energy? So once you have these three lists done, you have complete clarity, and then you can say no to things you don't want to do, or something that leaks your energy. So now, as an exercise, I want you to write three things you're saying no to, like in this month. I mean, do it with intention, not avoidance. Doing with avoidance is just saying no as a blanket no. That's not what I mean here. I'm saying do it with intention, do it with purpose, do it with data. That's what we are building now. By doing all this or making all these lists, what are you doing? You're creating data that you can base your decisions on. So your decision to say no is not arbitrary, or something that it's not avoidance either. It's a very calculated move. That's what makes you a leader. That's what makes you, a strategic person, a leader with strategic steps. All right, vision. Now, what's next? Step number four in the clarity, four paths to clarity. The last one is decision clarity. Like, you need to know what's your filter for saying yes. Now, in the previous step, we figured out what to say no to. How do you say yes to? Like, what do you say yes for? So, confident leaders use these filters, like, but drifting leaders, or entry level leaders, they try to do things using feelings. I mean, if they feel right, they do. Sometimes it's also called as a gut feeling, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So today things are based on data, like data driven. If you are a data driven person, you will love this, saying no by design, or yes also by design, using these filters. So here's the 4 question clarity compass that we use at Stardom Books before saying yes to any new goal or project or opportunity. We ask these 4 questions. Number one, does this align? This means this project or task or goal or whatever that is, the next big thing. Is this or does this align with my identity? Do I? Because I ask this question to so many people when we start working with our aspiring authors, first time authors. I ask them, do you see yourself as an author someday? Because we are working on your book project, and later on, you should not feel that, no, I don't feel like as an author, I don't feel that identity. I mean, first you need to feel that. So, does this align with your identity? That's the first question. Second question you need to ask yourself is, will this create disproportionate ROI for my goals? Whatever that you want to say yes to, is this going to create a, a, a disproportionate ROI, return on investment, for my goals? If I do this one thing, will I get multiple ROI in different areas? Should be able to say yes to this. Third question you need to ask yourself is, am I only one who can do this, or is that somebody else can do this? Is this something that I have to do, or is this something that someone else can do? Right? And the fourth question is, if I say yes, what must I say no to? Sometimes you may not have anything that you want to say no to if you want to say yes, but almost always there is. Let's say, if you're, I mean, I'm trying to give you examples from my publishing world because that's where I come from. Many of our authors, when they say yes to do a book project, maybe they will have to say no to their, let's say, uh, they have to take a couple hours during their weekends off and focus on the book project. They had to say no to maybe a party during the weekend, or maybe, they had to let go of their evening walk someday. I'm just giving an example. All right. So, four questions. Number one, does this align with my identity? Two, will this create disproportionate return on investment for my goals? Three, am I the only one who can do this? And four, if I say yes to this one, what must I say no to? You need to be clear on this. That's where clarity comes. Decision clarity. So pick one opportunity on your plate right now, whatever that might be. If you don't have anything to think about, let me give you an opportunity. Yes, you can write and publish a book this year or early next year. So now that is the opportunity. Now run it through the 4 question filter. Ask these 4 questions about becoming an author. Does this align with your identity? Will this create disproportionate return on investment? Will you get more returns from this? Returns means in terms of both direct and indirect returns, not just monetary returns. Number 3 question you need to ask, am I the only one who can do this? Are you the one who can write your book, or someone else can write it for you? And 4, if I say yes, what must I say no to? All right, let me give a quick case study. A successful executive, one of our authors, was running 3 big initiatives. He was juggling close to 70-80 hour weeks. And after applying the clarity code that you just went through, he was able to cut 40% of his dues, to do's, by delegating and deleting 40%. And then he also doubled revenue from his consulting business or consulting initiative in 6 months, not by doing anything more, but by focusing better. So, folks, clarity is not a cost, it's a catalyst. Let me say it again. Clarity is not a cost, it's a catalyst, right? So, let me share a few do's and don'ts about the clarity module here. Number one, the do's: revisit your clarity framework every 90 days. You need to keep revisiting it. I told you it's a habit, it's not a feeling. Clarity is not a feeling. Second, do use filters, not feelings, to make key decisions. Use data, use filters, use these big ideas, use the step by step tools that I shared with you. Use those filters and not base your decisions on feelings. All right. Number 3, teach your team to seek clarity before execution. If you are leading a team, ask each and every member to Make sure that they have the clarity. They see clearly what is the goal, what are the tasks, what's the outcome, everything about this task before they start the execution or before they start the project. And what about donors? Yes, don't assume what mattered, you know, 6 months ago, a year ago, still does. That's why you need to keep revisiting the clarity framework every 90 days. All right. And second point is don't rely on urgency to determine the importance of a particular task. Maybe something is urgent, but it may not be important. Some people want, you to respond to their email. Like, you don't need to respond urgently the same day, the same hour. You can respond maybe the next day or the next week. Things can wait. Something that is not important may not be urgent. All right. And don't expect high performance from unclear goals. Unclear goals almost always, comes back to figuring things out again and again, doing things again and again. That is going to become least productive, activity. Now, first thing to do, what should you do next? After you watch this video, the first thing is choose one area, like either identity or priority, boundary or distance. The 4-step clarity, plan that we discussed today: identity clarity, priority clarity, boundary clarity, or decision clarity. Remember, choose one area and commit to a 7-day clarity experiment in that zone. So, on your notes, write this down. For the next 7 days, I will simplify by focusing on, write down what do you want to focus on. 2 things, 3 things, 5 things. So next 7 days, maybe you have one thing every day. Write it down. So and then follow through. That's the first thing that you do. And then, of course, that's what I just said. And then the next thing is, I want to emphasize the fact that if you're not a Stardom Circle member yet, like if you're watching this um, as your as a YouTube video, because after some months these sessions will become free for all. Uh, but if you are a Stardom Circle member, you get full access to these sessions right away, each and every month before anybody else. Plus, you also get access to replays, access to the full gain course, and enjoy over $4,000 worth of benefits. Plus, you will gain access to advanced sessions like this each and every month for the entire year. So, consider becoming a Stardom Circle member, because clarity, my friends, isn't a luxury, it's leadership. And in a world addicted to urgency, your clarity will be your unfair advantage. Your clarity will be your unfair advantage. So let's build your clarity code together and live it. All right. So, and if you're already a Stardom Circle member, schedule a call with one of our highly trained publishing advisors to discuss your book idea. If you are keen on becoming an author, we'll help you plan it, write it, edit it, proofread it, and then design it beautifully and publish it in various formats across the world, or in different editions. All right. So go to stardombooks.com/meeting and schedule a call with one of our highly trained publishing advisors. Talk to them, share your ideas, and exchange information and explore the possibilities. All right. See you again in another video in the clarity session, the monthly sessions that we do. Until then, keep smiling, believe in yourself, and get all the best things in life.